Okay, so I've continued to add some assets and then move them around and manipulate this. So we've got a nice little castle which we can look around. And what we haven't done so far is we haven't concentrated on the landscape because it looks a bit flat at the moment and it's not very exciting because it's just got grass all the way around. So I'll just show you how to sculpt and paint the terrain. So first of all, select the terrain by clicking on it and go to modes, click down and then select landscape. Now don't worry if you see a checkerboard pattern, that's just the computer calculating all the shaders. And once that can be working in the background. And as you can see, the default setting inside the landscape is showing this paintbrush which moves over the surface. And we can scale that down on the left hand side. Let's just reduce it down around about 800, 900. Okay. Now, if you look, there are different modes. There's manage, sculpt and paint. Let's look at sculpt. Okay. Now the default is sculpt, and when we click on the terrain, you can see the terrain starts to go up. You just need to click on it ever so slightly, and then we start to see mountains and hills starting to appear. Okay. If you make a mistake, if you press the shift key down, you can also make it go down. And we can do that anywhere inside the world, but obviously we want to make this area around the castle fairly flat, so we'll avoid that. So let's go into this area and we can reduce the scale of the brush down, and then with the shift key down just make a little depression here, and then we can build up this area here by clicking on it and make it go up. And then you can spend quite a bit of time manipulating that, and at any point you can click on the play tool, see what that looks like as the player walks around. As you can see, there's a little depression there that we made. Okay, and that could be, we can put some water in there later on. Okay. So that's the sculpting tool. I'll just come out of there and I'll just come out of sculpting and we'll just move out a little bit. I've zoomed out using the arrow keys. Right, the next thing is the paint tool. So go back into landscape, but this time select the paint tab, and you can see on the left hand side there are a variety of textures which we can choose from. So let's say we choose the rock texture, and I'm just going to go over to this little hill section here, and I'm going to start to paint the hill. And as you can see, as I'm painting, the rock starts to appear on top of the hill, and we notice it's blended between the grass and the rock. And if we click on gravel, let's say we go inside the castle and we want this area, if the brush is too large, you can make it a bit smaller. And we can start to paint. Now sometimes it'll go to a checkerboard pattern. That's simply it's recalculating the shader. And as you can see, if you can't see it so well, you can always turn off the lighting by selecting lit and go to unlit. And you can see how the gravelly parts are being created on here. You might want to have that in the entranceway, so just do that there. And you might want to use the path tool, make that path a little bit smaller. You can't get it just right, just always tap it in. And then we can start, again the shaders just recalculating, and then you can start maybe make a path to here. And then put the lighting back in, and then turn off landscape by selecting the select tool, and then click on play. You can see what it looks like. So you can see now, got a nice gravelly path, and then it goes to sort of a paved way into the castle. Okay, so that's how you sculpt and paint the landscape. You can have a go at doing that.